So guys, we're going to treat part 5 of our IT course. If you are joining this program for the first time, I will enjoin you to go and check out the other IT videos I've done so far, from part 1 to part 4. This is the part 5, and if you are joining me for the first time, kindly subscribe and hit the bell icon for more subscription. I actually do other videos apart from Ican IT courses. There are some videos in web programming also, and I also have video on quantitative analysis, so you can check them out. The more you subscribe, the more encouraged I will be to release more materials online on YouTube. So right now, let me try and figure out, I just want to start from the beginning so that everybody will flow along. So as I've said, kindly check out my other videos. It will be very helpful, sincerely. Once you can form your notes from this video, then your way to success is just around the corner. So as you can see, this is part 5, chapter 5 of my notes, and we'll be talking more extensively on computer networks, local area network and topology, LAN security issues, wide area network and metropolitan area network, data transmission mode and media, protocols, intranet, extranet, and internet, wireless networks, and application of the internet. So we'll be learning all this. And permit me, I might be skipping some other things. So I won't be reading everything word for word, but I can assure you that anything I read, I will explain and describe how it is in the real world. So let's go along. The introduction, computer networks. Now, a computer network may be defined as an interconnection of a number of computers, telephones, and other shared devices in various ways so that users can process and share information. Networks make it possible for users to share peripheral devices, programs, and data, to be engaged in better communication, to have more secured information, and to have access to database. So basically, as you can see from the introduction, the computer network is basically the connections of two or more computer devices. I use the word devices because we now have different computer devices that, unlike in the past, the network is a combination, the connection between two or more computers. But now we have various devices. Your mobile phones, your smart TVs, your laptops, desktops, they are all computer devices which can be interconnected to each other on a network. So types of networks. We have the wide area network, we have the metropolitan area network, and we have the local area network. Let me quickly read. Wide area network. Wide area network is a communication network covering a wide geographical area, such as a region of a country or an entire country. Most telephone networks are typical examples of a wide area network. The internet, for example, links together several computer wide area networks. Most telephone networks are typical examples of wide area network. So the key word here is geographical area, the span, the distance which the network can reach. So here it says it could be a geographical area within a region or a country. The internet is a global computer network providing a variety of information and communication facilities consisting of interconnected networks using standardized communication protocol. The internet is a vast network that connects computers all over the world. Through the internet, people can share information and communicate from everywhere with an internet connection to the internet, link together several computer wide area networks. Now let's talk about the metropolitan area network. The metropolitan area network is a communication network that covers a geographical area such as the size of a town, a suburb of a city, or an entire city. But the truth of the matter now is that whether it's a wide area network or a metropolitan area network, they use the same facilities in the real world. Geographical area span, whether it's within a region or a country, it's debatable. So I would rather allow you to know that there's something called a metropolitan area network. But in the real sense, in the professional world, it's the same facility that the wide area network uses that you use for the metropolitan area network. The difference is that for a wide area network, the distance is far longer than the metropolitan area network. Now, the local area network. The local area network. A local area network is a privately owned communication network that operates in a confined geographical area. When we talk of confined, we talk of restricted area, not too far distance within a sizable area, usually within a kilometer radius. It could be operated within a building, a number of buildings close together, or on the campus of an educational institution. Local area network are either local area networks are either, sorry about that, private branch exchange, which is a private automatic branch exchange, or a local area network, a LAN. Let's continue. Let's talk about network topology. The topology or configuration of a network refers to the logical layout or shape of a network. So when you talk of a topology, you're talking of how the layout or the shape of a network is being designed. It describes the manner in which the various computers, are physically connected. On the other hand, the protocol consists of a set of rules that governs the way information is carried over the network. Components of a LAN. A local area network is made up of several standard components. They include the following: connections or cabling, network interface card, or you can call it a LAN card. We have network operating system, which is the software that enables the network function on a computer system. We have other shared devices, other devices like printer, fax machine, scanner, and storage devices may be added to the network as necessary and shared by all users. We have the bridge, router, and gateway. A LAN may stand alone or be connected to other networks. Various hardware and software devices may be used as an interface for this connection. A bridge or a router will facilitate communication between several networks, while a gateway makes it possible for dissimilar networks to communicate. That is a LAN with a WAN. Types of LAN. So types of local area network, we have the client-server network and a peer-to-peer network. What is a client-server network? A client-server network is a network that consists of several computers connected to another computers. Now, the several other computers are called the clients, or in technical terms, they are called a workstation. They are all connected to a single computer, which is called a server. A server is a computer machine that renders services to other clients or other workstations on a local area network. So the server can render either internet services or printing services or storage services or file services to other client computers on the same LAN. So B, I'm giving you the real life technical terminology. So B, a peer-to-peer network is one in which all the computers on the network communicate directly with one another and there is no server. This is less expensive than the client-server network type and is quite effective for up to 25 computers. Let's talk about the LAN topology. At this point, we shall consider some key LAN topologies. Network topology describes the physical and logical relationship of nodes in a network. It is the schematic arrangement of the links and nodes or some hybrid combination thereof. Network topology is a representation of the structure of a network and may be depicted physically or logically. It is an application of graph theory theory. So examples of network topology, we have the star topology, which is very common to our client server network. This is the topology you use mostly. The network is like a star. Every client, every other computer is connected to a server through a hub or a router or a switch. So all the computers are connected to that switch. Then one end of that switch is connected to the server. The switch enables the server to distribute information simultaneously to other networks on the LAN. So as you can see now, this diagram here is a typical example of a star network. You can see the printer is there, hard drive is there. All other computers or terminals are connected to the network. We have a ring or loop network. It's another kind of topology structure. In a ring network, all the computers and other communication devices are connected in a continuous loop. This is a typical peer-to-peer network. So the peer-to-peer network uses the ring topology. There is no server. Message flow in only one direction, and there is therefore no danger of collision. However, if a connection is broken, the entire network may stop working. A user who intends to send information is required to be allocated a bit token, 1 or 0, indicating permission to send or otherwise. So this is a diagram of a ring network. It's like a ring. All networks are connected to that ring. A bus topology, number 3, or a bus network. In a bus topology or LAN, all the communication devices are connected to a common channel. If a connection is broken, the network may stop working. This type of network structure may be organized as a client-server or peer-to-peer network. A signal from any communication device moves in both directions to the end of the bus. Any imminent collision of message are detected by the protocol. Carrier sense multiple access collision detection, which delay the messages and later allow the devices concerned to retransmit. This is an example of a bus. Sometimes we call it a straight line technology. All computers are lined through a connection on a straight line. So they are all connected through that line. That is why it's called a bus technology or topology. So you can see, I'm not going to delve much on metropolitan area network because I've already explained that above. Is a typical wide area network. The difference is just that the wide area network cover more wider regions than a metropolitan area network. That's just it. But apart from that, they both use the same technology. So you can read the advantage and disadvantage of networks. So let's continue. LAN security issues. The complexity of LAN make it possible for a number of breaches to be committed. We shall now consider the following. Password on unauthorized issues. These are network security issues. Computer virus issues. Encryption issues. So we'll talk about the password. Password is simply having a sequence of characters, either numbers, letters, or special characters, which only you know the combination key, which you use in authorizing an entry into a system or a database. As you can see, they say the password may be defined as a sequence of characters to be entered into a computer system in order to gain access to the system or some other part of it. Security during data transmission, we have cryptography. Cryptography information security uses cryptography to transform usable information into a form that renders it unusable by anyone other than the authorized user. This process is called encryption. The encrypted information can be transferred back to its original usable form by an authorized user who possesses the cryptographic key, a process called decryption. Cryptography is used in information security to protect information from unauthorized or accidental disclosure while the information is in transit or in storage. So cryptography is a combination of encryption and decryption. When you encrypt an information, it means that the information being transmitted over a network will not be useful to any other person apart from those that created it, or anybody that has a device that can decrypt. A decryption is a method or a mechanism or a device that can decrypt the code which you sent on a network which has been encrypted. That encryption, the characters there is not understandable to the normal human eye, but it's only the system designed to read it. That's decryption that can do that. So encryption is a technique of disguising information in order to preserve its confidentiality during transmission and when stored. That is encryption. Let's find what decryption. The process of encryption and decryption comprises an algorithm and a key. So I want to get the definition of decryption so that it won't look as if I didn't mention it. Changing the value of a key can alter the effect of algorithm so that the conversion for each key value is completely different. Using appropriate software, the sending computer encrypts the message, and at the receiving end, the computer decrypts the message. Anyone intercepting the message will not have the key to decipher it and thus will not find it meaningful. Protocols. Protocol is a set of rules and procedures for exchanging information between computers on a network. Protocol define how the communication link is established, how information is transmitted, and how errors are detected and corrected. Using same protocol, different using same protocols, different types and makes of computer can communicate with each other. So we have examples of protocols here. We have the Ethernet, most widely used protocol for local area network. We have the token ring, uses electronic token to avoid transmission conflicts by allowing only one device to transmit at a time. We have the FDDI, that's the fiber distributed data interface for fiber networks, high-speed fiber optics protocol. We have the TCP/IP. TCP is transmission control protocol. IP is internet protocol. We have the ATM. This is under protocol, not the ATM machine. Oh. The ATM is the asynchronous transfer mode protocol developed for transmitting voice data and video over a type of media. We have the IPX, Internet Packet Exchange. We have the UDP, User Data Protocol. Let's jump to the HTTP. We have the Hypertext Transfer Protocol used to access and download content from web pages. We have POP, Post Office Protocol, SMTP, Small Mail Transfer Protocol, and we have the FTP, which is a File Transfer Protocol. File Transfer Protocol. Let's go on. So Internet Protocol. The Internet Protocol, that's the IP, the standard language of the Internet, Transmission Control Protocol slash Internet Protocol, that's TCP slash IP, has been available since 1983. It is a standardized set of guideline protocols that allows different computers on different networks to communicate with each other efficiently, no matter how they gain access to the net. Now we have the 7-layer OSI model. I won't go too deep into it, but I'm going to mention them. 7-layer OSI. OSI means Open System Interconnection Model. It's a conceptual model that characterizes and standardizes the communication function of a telecommunication or computing system without regards to their underlying internal structure and technology. The model defines a networking framework to implement protocols in 7 layers. So layer one is called the physical layer. The physical layer, layer one. Layer two, data link. Layer three, network layer. Layer four, transport. Layer five, session. Layer six, presentation. Layer seven, application. So you can go through what each of these layer mean. Because of our time, I won't want to delve deep into them. The internet. The internet is a network of computers, a series of networks using very precise rules that allows any user to connect to and use any available network or computer connected to it. Created by the US Department of Defense in 1969 under the name ARPA Net. ARPA stands for Advanced Research Project Agency. The internet was built to serve two purposes. The first, to share research among military, industries, and university scholars. The second was to provide a system of sustainable communication among military units in the event of a nuclear attack. So using the internet is something you can read. There are no formalized rules about how to behave on using the internet over the years. However, a code of conduct, sometimes referred to as network ethics, has evolved. So rules, these are just the way you need to behave when you are connected to the internet. Let's continue. So current uses of internet, disseminating of information, product service, internet security issues. You can read them. I've mentioned them above. Intranet and extranet. Okay, let's read them. An intranet is an internal corporate network that uses the infrastructure and standard of the internet and the World Wide Web. An intranet can connect all types of computers in an organization. So, intranet is just like an internet. The difference here is that for an intranet, it is strictly for an organization, a corporate organization, like a bank that has several branches across a country. All the information within that intranet is restricted to that bank alone and no other person. Whereas the internet is open to every comer. That's just what it is. So the extranet, an extranet is a typical type of intranet that is accessible to outsiders, but limited to only those with valid user authentication. So, for instance, an extranet is when the intranet gives an outsider the opportunity to access its information, which means the outsider will have a user login to be able to access that intranet. Simply put, like your bank, online banking. Once you have a login, you can access your online banking and processes it. Accessing the extranet, you can read that one. Example of physical cabling, we have twisted pair cabling, coaxial pair, fiber optics cable. Examples of wireless media, microwave, carrier, infrared. So, guys, with this, I would like to stop here. The chapter part 5 of this course, I would like to stop here on this part 5. Then we'll go to part 6. Every other item here, you can quickly read them and wish you the best of luck also.